Picture a wave in the ocean.
This is what we dedicate our lives to.
It crashes on the shore, and it's gone.
Every life that touches yours is an influence for good, for growth, for healing. Every friendship, every relationship helps create who you are.
But the water is still there.
The show is an exploration of how we judge ourselves and how we judge each other.
What a perfect distillation of our philosophy on life.
No one is beyond rehabilitation.
I love the work that I do, and The Good Place reminds me of that work.
What that number can't tell you is who he could have become tomorrow.
All of you who give therapy, thank you. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy. I'm joined by my co-host,
Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies and TV shows, pop culture in general. What are we doing today?
Cat's out of the bag, because you said TV shows. We're talking about maybe my favorite television program of all time.
I love the show. I really do. You love this show.
It's unhealthy.
Actually, I feel like there's so much soul-feeding meat in this show. Like, it's good for you. It's
Soul-feeding meat is a phrase I don't want you to ever say again. This was actually chosen by our patrons. After we did a bunch of episodes about Avatar, we let our patrons pick which TV show. I may have hinted that I wanted to do The Good Place, but they still chose it. And if you want to, you can join our Patreon and you can tell us what to do.
The basic premise is that there's a group of 4 souls who arrive in The Good Place, aka heaven, but they don't call it heaven. They call it The Good Place.
Yeah.
But Eleanor, played by Kristen Bell, comes to the conclusion that I don't belong in The Good Place. I was kind of a terrible person, and I hope nobody finds out.
This is for you. Just a housewarming plant is a little reminder that if there's ever anything that you need, I am right next door.
How could I possibly forget? Have a great day, Tahani.
Oh,
Perfect Tahani in her perfect mansion.
Tahani. Welcome to the neighborhood, even though we all arrived here at the same time. Here's some dirt I put in a bowl because I'm amazing.
I thought it was kind of a nice gesture.
Oh, Cheaty. It's a total con. I see through her little act.
Her act of being a nice person who brings you gifts?
Bingo.
Okay, I'll remind you that you're trying to learn how to be a good person. Maybe you should return the favor. Bring her something.
Oh, so now I'm supposed to be nice and make friends and treat her with mutual respect?
Yeah.
That's exactly what she wants me to do, Cheaty. Wake up!
That's what everyone wants everyone to do.
Okay.
She was raised by negligent parents.
I mean, raised is in quotes in that.
She was raised. She wasn't raised.
She
Her
wasn't
parents didn't
raised.
raise her. We do see, as the show progresses, why she is the way she is.
Yes, very much so.
But up front, the writers are very invested in presenting her as just a bad person.
She's just
period.
a dirtbag, and it's so great.
An Arizona dirtbag.
Arizona dirtbag.
Which is the best kind of dirtbag, trust me. Everybody wants to feel safe, respected, and loved.
Yes.
And most of the things that we do that are harmful are either attempts to get safety, respect, and love, or responding to not receiving that.
Right.
And so Cheaty is making the point of, this is what everybody wants. And Eleanor is, we later see, too scared to connect, too scared to be vulnerable, because that's how people abuse you, that's how people misuse you, that's how people neglect you. And she has justified a whole lifetime of mistreating others based on how she's been mistreated. And what I love about this show, my idea of the afterlife is it's one big therapy session until everyone's healed.
And then we get to walk through a door in the woods.
Oh, Dib, you're back.
Her entire theory of mind is owing someone else any kind of consideration is bad.
Yeah.
Because it removes your autonomy or it removes your freedom or something,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
I don't
her
know you
whole
nothing.
theory. Yeah.
Anybody.
You know what all these characters have in common?
They needed therapy?
Yes, they could have used BetterHelp.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and offer helpful, unbiased advice.
To get started, click the link below or go to betterhelp.com/cinematherapy and fill out the questionnaire to assess your specific needs.
BetterHelp has a network of over 30,000 therapists with a wide range of expertise.
You'll get matched with a therapist in most cases in 48 hours or less.
And they're committed to helping you find a therapist who's a good fit for you.
So you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost if the one you are first matched with is not a fit.
You can choose a convenient time for your therapy sessions.
And you can also choose how you want to do your therapy sessions, a phone call, video chat, or even via messaging.
You can even have Janet summon them for you.
If you're in the good place and you have a good Janet around.
Even a neutral Janet can call BetterHelp.
Maximum Derek.
Over 4 million people have used BetterHelp to start living a healthier, happier life.
If you think you might benefit from therapy, click the link below or go to betterhelp.com/cinematherapy.
You'll get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you.
Can't believe I'm doing this, but Jason, please come to my classroom. I will teach you ethics, like I'm doing with Eleanor, and if you work hard and absorb the material, you just might be able to earn your place here.
So he's somebody else who, quote unquote, doesn't belong.
No, I'm good.
Dude, Chidi is giving you a lifeline right now and you need to take it. Because you suck.
You suck.
I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We both suck. You know who doesn't suck? Chidi. He is putting himself in danger to help us. Because he, unlike us, is an amazing person.
I didn't get into heaven to go to school.
You didn't get into heaven at all, shirt for brains.
I just want to be myself.
That's a very, very bad idea. Do not be yourself. You need to be a better version of yourself, okay? And I do too. And our only hope right now is this kind, selfless, amazing nerd. Think about that.
Do you have to call me nerd so much?
I said a lot of other nice things, okay? Toughen up, nerd.
So the question I have with this scene is, does it require intelligence to want to change? Because that feels naturally to me like, oh, smart people want to learn and grow and get better.
Right.
Also, is it possible to help people who just want to sit around and play, like, who don't want to change, right? They want to sit around and play Xbox.
Right. Well, okay, so look, Chidi in some ways is a stand-in for a therapist.
Sure.
Because therapists, we may say that we're just objective and it's all science, but there's a fair amount of moral philosophy in therapy.
Yeah.
We try and make that all evidence-based,
Right.
but the idea is still, how do we treat other people? How do we treat ourselves so that we can have a peaceful, content, thriving life? That's the idea of therapy. That's what Chidi's doing with Eleanor.
Exactly.
Eleanor is an ideal therapy client.
She's highly motivated.
Because she's highly motivated. She's hilariously a pain in the ass. But she's highly motivated. In her case, she doesn't want to go to the bad place. Here on Earth, that could look like, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to get a divorce. I don't want to lose my family. I don't want to keep stepping in the same bear traps of hurting others or hurting myself or losing jobs or whatever's going on. So people who are highly motivated are the best people to work with. People like Jason Mendoza, these are your court-ordered therapy cases where, like, the punishment's already happened, so they're like, I'm good, like, this is it. There's not as much motivation, and somebody is telling them they have to be there. And so it's really hard to reach somebody who, A, has a low level of intelligence, because with a low level of intelligence, the beauty of that is often a higher degree of acceptance.
Okay.
That's the gift of low intelligence, honestly, is like everything's fine.
I came up with hundreds of plans in my life, and only one of them got me killed.
I can see that.
And listen, there's different types of intelligence. So Jason happens to be, we see later on, highly emotionally intelligent.
Extremely, yeah.
And when it comes to like logical intelligence, he's low. But that means he accepts a lot of things. People who are highly logically intelligent tend to be more motivated in therapy, but sometimes it's harder because nothing's ever good enough.
Right.
Because they can't just get in the lane of being happy. That's Chidi.
Yes.
Chidi has a hard time being happy because he's always stressed out and anxious.
He's always intellectualizing everything.
Yeah.
I really do have sympathy for your situation. I mean, you thought your soulmate was a good person, and then you learned that she's just an immoral grifter.
Honey, please.
Am I wrong? She lied to everyone. She caused a giant sinkhole into which poor Glenn fell. She caused a trash storm. She pretended to be my friend when I really needed one. Lest we forget, she murdered Janet. As far as I'm concerned,
Chidi murdered Janet. Whoops.
we'll all be.
I understand that Eleanor violated our trust, but please, when you're talking to Michael, try to think about what she's had to go through.
All right. I will. For you. But we've been through a lot as well. You know, I haven't been this upset since my good friend Taylor was rudely upstaged by my other friend Kanye, who was defending my best friend, Beyonce.
So Tahani has a really strong sense of justice. In this case, I think misplaced because she is directing it at someone who hurt her personally.
Yeah.
Obviously, we later learn in the show, maybe Tahani is not as crystal clean, shiny as she thinks she is.
We're going to get into a little bit of spoilers in this conversation today. If you don't mind, then stick around. If you do mind, watch The Good Place and
You
come
should
back.
watch it.
Yeah.
It's only 50 episodes. Come back here in 25 hours.
Chidi, like a good therapist, I know he's a philosophy instructor, but like a good therapist, he's trying to get everyone to engage in perspective taking.
Yeah.
That everyone's behavior makes sense to them, that Eleanor has done these hurtful things, but why has she done it? She's done it out of fear. She's done it out of self-preservation. She's done it because she's never learned to connect. Sometimes it feels like your therapists or moral philosophy teachers or other people are trying to let others off the hook for their behavior.
Right.
And justify it. And when done well, anyone who's trying to guide others in morality, first of all, they have to be practicing it themselves. They have to own it when they fall short. And they have to make room for both justice and compassion. That's part of the moral complexity of the show and of real life. If we start off with the assumption of there's just good, there's just evil, but what if you do something evil for a good reason? Chidi is lying, but he's doing it to protect somebody.
I'm basically a utilitarian nightmare.
The show is an exploration of how we judge ourselves and how we judge each other. And what is the right balance, if there is such a thing, between holding people accountable and showing them compassion and doing the same thing for ourselves.
Right.
Chidi and I are gonna go to the bad place.
What?
Trust me, I've got this. That's our decision. Let's hit it.
What about real Eleanor?
No, it's me and Chidi. Call the train.
Send us to hell.
I don't accept this offer. The real mistakes were Jason and Eleanor.
Ga, 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 ga. You said any two of us. It's me and Chidi. Let's do it to it.
Michael, I just found an obscure precedent in the rules that might just save everyone.
Buzz off, Bomba John. Don't need it.
Okay.
Ready when you are, boss.
Eleanor, what's going on?
It took me a while to figure it out. But just now, as we were all fighting and yelling at each other and each one of us demanding we should go to the bad place, I thought to myself, man, this is torture. And then it hit me. They're never gonna call a train to take us to the bad place. They can't, because we're already here. This is the bad place.
They spent a season in hell without knowing it. I love that.
Oh, man.
Ted Danson
I can't believe you figured it out.
is a genius.
Oh, God.
He's been so nice and kind and lovable the whole season.
He is the best TV sitcom actor of all time.
I agree. You watch Cheers and you watch this, and you can't dispute it.
And all the other shows he's been in, those are like his two biggest, sort of most memorable hits, but he's been in tons of shows.
As someone who helps people with social anxiety and all forms of relationship struggles, the idea that hell is social situations that you can't escape and that you hate.
Well, and we, come to find out later that Michael, Ted Danson's character, invented a new version of hell. This is it's a test.
Yeah.
And instead of us, all these demons and fire creatures and butt lizards and, weird crap.
Poking you and prodding you and
pulling your eyeballs out through your mouth and all the torture and everything horrible that we're going to do. We're just going to let people torture each other.
Yeah.
Is such horrifying genius. However Michael Schur came up with that, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And how can I get some of it?
Then, of course, the beauty of the show is that what was designed to be torture is actually what delivers all of them. Chidi, who sees himself as this great moral person, also doesn't belong in the good place. To be fair, the rules of the good place are ridiculous, and they later reveal that no one's made it in for 500 years.
Yes.
Right? But that everybody is imperfect, everybody's broken, everybody's flawed, and that we help fix and heal each other. And so what was meant to be torture is ultimately what causes every character to grow. And this is one of the reasons why I adore this show. Growth is the purpose of the show. It's the anti-Seinfeld. It's like, not only are we going to do it, we're going to lean super hard into it. And it should feel like an after-school special, and it doesn't. It feels real. Like, obviously, there's a ton of fantasy and silliness, but the emotional arcs feel real and earned. It's very
tiny steps.
And we see how he gets there. And I love this show because at the beginning you think, well, we're going to watch Eleanor grow. And then you realize, no, everybody needs healing. Yeah, it's amazing.
So we're skipping ahead to season 2. At the end of season 1, Eleanor discovers this is the bad place. So they just reset everybody and wipe their memories. Yeah. You would expect season 2 is kind of the same thing as season 1, but with different variations. Except, no, they get through all of that in one episode.
Yeah.
Season 2, almost every episode is just an entire season's worth of television.
Yeah.
Just like crunched into...
Yeah.
It's insane. But by the 3rd episode, which is what we're going to watch, they've already been rebooted hundreds of times.
Yeah.
And like relearned, and they keep getting better.
And they keep helping each other.
Jason figured it out? Jason? This is a real low point. Yeah, this one hurts.
Sure, take your time. We're not in a hurry or anything.
How many times in all the reboots did I ask Chidi for help, he refused to help me, and then I had to get better on my own?
Never. He always helped you.
Really?
Yep. No matter how I set it up, you found him, confessed you didn't belong, asked him for help. He said yes. Now, his agreeing to help was part of my plan. What wasn't part of my plan was it actually working. Drove me nuts, pesky little nerd. Stuck with you and always helped you overcome your biggest problem.
Assuming that's my selfishness?
No. It's that you never found a haircut that framed your face properly. Yes, your selfishness.
I'm not that selfish.
Eleanor, your cocaine and escape train are ready.
Not now.
Okay.
I think he's a liar. I think there's a 99% chance he's forking with us. But he's asking us for help, so we should help him. Because that's what Chidi would do. That's what Chidi would do for me, or for any of us.
Good people will help. No matter what, no matter how they can. Which is how I know I'm okay. I'm not great.
Well, and the show does explore the spiritual dilemma of, do you do what's right because you're hoping for an eternal reward, versus do you do what's right just because it's the right thing to do? Because
do you want sky cake?
And I love seeing these characters move from, well, we want heaven, to we just want to do good.
Right.
Because we care about each other. The communal aspect of this group is so beautiful and so profound. And just this notion that Chidi helped you every single time. Again, that's who he is, but that's also who he chooses to be. Right? It's not just how he just arrived on the planet and boom. This is, he sees what needs to be done in the world and he decides to do something because to him, that's the only way he can live with himself.
And just so you know, we have also filmed a Patreon exclusive episode that is available right now on our Patreon, where we talk about The Good Place and Found Family.
Yeah, it's a family therapy, family dynamics episode with these characters.
Yep.
Joey.
That ought to stop them from following us.
So smart. Nice to have you back, Janet.
That must have been hard for you.
Just busted out of hell.
There?
It was. I don't like thinking about who I used to be.
Listen, Michael, it's okay to feel or plead guilty about bad things you used to do, but you don't have to feel shame about who you were, because you're not a demon anymore. You're just like a nice, weird, happy old dude.
I really wanted to talk about this scene because it illustrates something that I love about this show.
Yeah.
This is going to sound weird because I'm always, what's the cinematic angle? What are they doing that's so interesting and fun and awesome? And this show, nothing.
Yeah.
It's literally 2 to 4 people standing talking to each other in every scene.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And that's what this scene is, right? Like, it's literally just 3 people standing there talking.
Yeah.
But to illustrate what's going on, hey, let's put it in a desert and they're on a little cart thing.
Yeah.
But it looks janky and kind of cheeseball. But that's like, the show knows what it is, leans into its aesthetic, and it completely works. And that's one of the things that I love about this show is just knowing like, hey, we don't have a Game of Thrones budget. So we're just, not even that we're not going to try, we're going to embrace it.
Yeah.
Like, we know what we are, and we're doing it.
I look at Michael in this scene and how he's not a demon anymore. And it's okay to feel or plead guilty to things, Michael.
Jason's simple wisdom.
But Michael starts as a demon masquerading as an angel, as an ambassador welcome to heaven, you know, basically. And through his association with these humans, because the demons they've just been taught this rhetoric their whole lives, that humans are bad, humans are evil, and they deserve the torture that we give them.
Right.
And they never really get to know any of them.
Right.
Michael gets to know these 4 individuals that he's been assigned to torture, and something changes within him. And he desires to be like them. Mm-hmm. And his arc from demon to human, and discovering empathy, discovering all the little things to savor and enjoy from just being alive, or from treasuring a connection with somebody. It's beautiful to watch, to your point about Ted Danson being a phenomenal sitcom actor. He's so good in this and so lovable. And I was talking to our buddy Stacey Harkey yesterday about this concept of when people have paradigm shifts about other people, it generally doesn't come from getting information, it comes from getting to know.
Right.
And when Michael gets to know these people, you could tell him as a demon, without him knowing anybody, you could tell him, hey, humans aren't that bad. And he'd be like, here's all the anecdotal evidence that says they are.
Right.
But when he actually gets to know them, that's where the shift happens. And that's why it's so important to be open and show who you are, because it gives the chance for people to connect with and confront their own stereotypes and superstitions.
Well, and one of the things that Jason says here that's so wise...
You don't have to feel shame about who you were, because you're not a demon anymore. You're just like a nice, weird, happy old dude.
If he was a D&D character, he'd have like a negative 12 intelligence, but like plus 6 wisdom somehow.
Yeah.
But like, anyway, and that's something we've talked about on the show a bunch. There's a difference between guilt and shame. I'm going to try to say this, and then he's going to correct me. Guilt is useful to incite change, and then you get rid of it.
Yeah.
Shame is harmful because bad.
You were like 75% of the way
I got
there.
almost all the way there, guys.
Shame is directed at you as an individual. Shame is directed at your identity, and it keeps you trapped in negative cycles because you believe this ugly thing about me, this is who I am and I can't escape. Like in Michael's case, I'm a demon. That's who I am. When Michael says, I don't like to think about who I used to be, that's a sign of healthy guilt. The guilt led me to change the behavior, and now Jason's telling me, okay, feel it and then leave it behind, because it did what it was supposed to do. That was its purpose, and now it's done. Well done.
Okay.
Call up the active files of 4 people still alive on Earth. Camila Al-Jamil, Donna Shellstrop, and her stepdaughter Patricia. And
these are loved ones of our 4 main characters.
Part of the experiment. If he gets to bring random good people into it, I should be able to bring in random bad people. Call up Elizabeth Holmes. No. Henry Kissinger. No. PewDiePie.
Your Honor, the people I want to look at are not random. They're 4 humans the cockroaches helped unearth. No magic, just kindness. And I bet their emotional support made those 4 people better. Look, right there. After we intervened, Pillboy dedicated himself to caring for the elderly. Camila started a scholarship in Tahani's name that sent 213 women to college. Donna started doing homework with Patricia every night. And that little girl actually ended up teaching Donna multiplication. Yikes. The point is, people improve when they get external love and support. How can we hold it against them when they don't?
Need I remind you that Brent got worse with every second of every moment of every day.
Until right at the end. With 10 seconds left, he swung way up.
This is it, Your Honor. This is the whole story. No one is beyond rehabilitation. Brent spent a year being an absolute diaper load of a human being. The points total tells you that. But what that number can't tell you is who he could have become tomorrow.
Oof. It's therapy, bench.
Holy forking shirt balls. Don't worry, I'm just getting emotional because somebody got called a diaper load of a person.
Such a great insult.
The insults in this show are so top shelf, and I am tearing up because we've had an emotional scene where a man is described as a diaper load of a human. That is incredible writing, and hard to top a delivery by Ted Danson talking to Maya Rudolph, and, Mark Evan Jackson always crushing it with the dour expression and the just very monotone delivery. What a show. Yeah. What a freaking show. What a perfect distillation of our philosophy on life.
We talk a lot on the show about filmmakers and filmmaking. I feel like I maybe don't give enough of a shout out to therapists and my profession. Cinema therapy, we just kind of marinate in the concepts, but I want to do it here because this is what we dedicate our lives to.
Yeah.
And what is really powerful to me when we talk about that balance between empathy and justice, right? Or compassion and accountability. Because we have therapists, we make space for everybody can grow, everybody can change. No one's beyond rehabilitation.
Yeah.
But also the people who have been hurt by somebody else don't need to keep these people in their lives while they're rehabilitating or not to keep hurting them.
Right.
That these people can say, I'm letting you go, and I do hope you get the help you need, and I do hope you get better. I've had any number of people where I'm like, where they want to get into a relationship, and my first thing is, maybe don't. Let's work on you until you're a good person to be in a relationship with. And I truly do believe that almost everybody can rehabilitate, can change, learn, grow. Actually, I believe anybody can.
I believe everybody can.
A lot of people won't choose to.
Correct.
Right? But I love the work that I do. And The Good Place, this entire series reminds me, in principle, of that work. And at this moment, I just want to salute and give a hats off to all of you who have sought therapy, all of you who have got support.
Especially all of you who give therapy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What other Good Place episodes would you like us to do? What character arcs or relationships would you like us to cover?
Would you like an entire episode on Bombajan?
I don't know that there's enough there.
Oh, there is.
Oh my gosh.
There's not. We couldn't do that.
Let us know in the comments below.
So until next time.
I mean, I get what you see in me. I'm an absolute snack.
Mm-hmm. Holy mother-forking shirtballs.
And watch The Good Place.
We want to thank our patrons who picked The Good Place for us to watch, and now you get a bunch of episodes about it, and they're great. They also get extended director's cuts, exclusive episodes, all kinds of other things. People like
J Mill,
Tony Hahn,
Amy Garner.
Garner was hard?
I thought it said Gamer. Garner's not hard, my eyesight is bad.
Okay.
What do you want from me?
Twisted.
And Sean.
Thanks, patrons.
And you can help us select what TV show we're going to cover next, or movie.
Or what other episodes we're going to talk about from The Good Place. Yeah. Because listen, we watched a lot of TV. We're going to get a lot of mileage out of this show.
We're going to mine that gold.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, everybody. Derek's going away now.